The Ford Maverick is back for 2024 and the ordering bank is about to open up. If you're interested in a new Ford Maverick, you've got to watch this video all the way through because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know as far as how to order it and make sure you're not waiting months on end for your order. What's up, guys? Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and let's just jump straight into the content on exactly how to get your Maverick as fast as possible. First things first, I need to lay some groundwork, and the 23 model year Maverick was a very hot seller. I would argue is one of the best-selling vehicles that Ford has made as far as a supply versus demand in quite some time, maybe outside of the Ford Bronco. When the 2023 model year Maverick actually came out, they opened up the order bank for a whopping 5 days before they completely sold out for the entire model year. And I fully expect the 24 model year to sell out almost as fast. And so just kind of keep that in mind. Now, the downside to that is there's a lot of dealers out there that were charging way over MSRP for the order units. Even customers that sat there and waited for extended periods of time and they told the customer, hey, yeah, it's going to be MSRP. And then when the vehicle shows up, they're like, due to current market trends, we're going to have to charge you 10 grand over sticker. We absolutely feel like that is a bunch of dog crap. And so we put a place in where we sell all of our Maverick orders at MSRP because we learned a long time ago that if you say something, you better dadgum do it. I know that sounded redneck when I said that, but that's how we operate. So if you want to order your Maverick with a dealership that you know is going to put it in writing and also take care of you in the long run, the phone number is right there on the screen. Just reach out to us. We'd be honored to absolutely help you. Now, let's talk about some of the options and some things like that, some changes for the 24 model year, if you will. The very first thing is going to be the engine availability. Now, the 2.0 and the 2.5 actually are still both available across the board with a few minor exceptions as far as like four-wheel drive is not available in the hybrid. Hopefully that's coming, fingers crossed, but not for 24 model year. The 2.0 engine is now going to be standard on the XL trim level. In the past, it was the hybrid engine that was standard on the XL. So now you've got the 2.5 liter hybrid engine is now optional pretty much across the board. The reason that they did that change is because Ford is not able to build enough of these particular hybrid engines. I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty details on exactly how to order your vehicle so that way if you're in a time crunch, you can actually get it as fast as possible. So make sure you watch the video all the way through. It will help you out. Even if you don't buy something from us, we're cool. We just want to help you with that. And so just keep in mind that the 2.5 liter hybrid is a very difficult engine for Ford to build. Word on the street, it's because they don't have the capacity to make enough batteries for that hybrid powertrain. So hopefully this blue oval city that Ford's building right now will turn out to be a massive improvement for that hybrid engine, which has had a massive reception. So a couple things, the XL model now starts at $24,995, which is a fantastic price point. Now it's a good bit higher than the original price point of the original Maverick, but then again, that was quite a few years ago and hashtag inflation. But yeah, that is still an option for you. Now you're going to want to watch this video all the way through because I talk about specifics as far as whether or not to order that XL. So make sure you watch this video all the way through. But the XLT now has a luxury package and it now includes a hard drop-in bed liner, not a spray-in, but a drop-in. And as far as the Lariat is concerned, you get a Lariat luxury package is now standard. And because of that, you also get the spray-in bed liner, also standard because it's included in that Lariat luxury package. Wireless phone charger, that's standard. Blind spot information system, lane keeping, all of that standard, and so much more. Moving on to the Tremor package, you now have the hood and the door decals for the Tremor are now included all together inside that Tremor package. And the reason they're doing that is because they actually got rid of the Tremor off-road appearance package. Why did they do that? Well, they basically just rolled it all into the Tremor package for ordering simplicity. But the good news is that if you don't want it, you still have the option to do the delete for the actual hood and the door decals. They just basically changed the packaging around. And as far as the colors are concerned, there are 4 colors that have been removed for the new Ford Maverick. That's going to be Area 51, Avalanche Gray, I believe Alto Blue, and Cyber Orange. And they've added 2 new colors, which is Azure Gray and Terrain. Now let's talk about the time frames on when everything is going to be happening. This isn't a very important part of this whole puzzle. So the week of July the 10th, which at the time that I'm recording this is not very far away, you got to keep in mind that's when the ordering guide and the price list is going to be debuting for most of the dealerships. That's what comes out that that says, all right, these are the different options. This is what the packages are, and this is what's available and what's not available in that particular setup. Now, that is not normally a customer-facing document, but they're pretty much all over the internet. You may not need that because on July the 17th, that's when the build-in price actually goes live. And the build-in price is, you go to Ford.com, you can spec it out and, see what the MSRP and all that kind of stuff is going to look like. That's also the same day, July the 17th, is the day that the ordering bank opens. That's when dealers can start placing their orders for the Maverick. Let me tell you what our dealership is doing. We are actually taking a pre-deposit. And what that looks like is, all right, you call us starting today and say, hey, I want a Ford Maverick, get me on your list. And what we'll do is we'll take a $500 deposit. You give us some generalities. I don't know if that's generality. You give us some of the specifics on what you're looking for. What color, what trim level, and a couple of the options. It's not going to be perfect, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be submitting new orders into the ordering bank in order that we received those pre-deposits. And so that's basically what it boils down to. Now, do I believe that having your order in as early as possible will maybe speed up your process? Maybe, maybe not. I do believe that there's going to be a very specific way to speed up your process on getting your Maverick, but that's coming here in just a second in this video. But I do think it can probably help you getting your ordering into the system as soon as possible. Because what I don't want to happen is all of these orders that have been waiting, people have been wanting to place an order for this thing for nearly a year now. They all do it at one time, and then Ford shuts down the ordering system in 5 days, just like they did the last time. So please, 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 if you're interested in a Maverick, you need to call us as soon as possible. So that way we can have an order of which customer gets put into the system, and it's first come, first serve, basically. This is what it boils down to. So once again, July the 17th is going to be the date that the ordering bank opens, but you don't need to wait until then. Go ahead and get in line first. All of that is to say that in October, hopefully, is when Ford is going to be converting 23 model year into 24 model year. That's when the plant's going to start building 24 model years, is in October. And that's also when they are hoping to get the okay to buy, which is Ford's way of saying that, hey, we've built enough of these vehicles in succession and we feel great about the quality, enough so that the customers can go ahead and start taking possession of the vehicle. It's okay for customers to buy the vehicles, where the okay to buy comes from. Now, I want to talk about 23 to 24 model year. We just talked about that a little bit. What happens if you already have a 23 model year order in the system? Let's say that it hasn't been scheduled yet, which means you don't have a VIN number. So if you've gotten an email from Ford that says, hey, congratulations, here's your VIN number, you've been scheduled for production. This is not, I'm talking about those people that have not gotten a VIN number. Let's say you say, you know what, I'm going to hold out on these particular options, and you don't call in to your dealership or us and place another order for a 24 model year. What happens if Ford can't build it as a 23? Well, if you didn't place a 24 model year order in the system, you're going to be out of luck and you'll have nothing. So if you've not been scheduled for production and you have a 23 model year order, you need to reach out to us or your local dealer and place a 24 model year order in addition. So that way, if your 23 doesn't get built, it'll transition into the 24. And the beautiful thing is, if it does that, what Ford will do is they will delete the 23 order automatically and just revert you into the 24, and everything is good. Now, the opposite is same true. If the 23 gets scheduled for production, what will happen is Ford will automatically delete the 24 model year. So all of that to say, if you've not been scheduled as a 23 model year and you've got an order in the system, you need to place an order for a 24 as a backup plan. All right, this is the nitty gritty of the video. This is how I'm going to tell you how you can get your Maverick ordered as fast as possible. And to give you a little bit of heads up, if you're new around here, we are a Ford dealership in Alabama, obviously, and we've actually become the #5 Bronco dealership in the entire United States. And we've done that through a couple of different things. We study the way Ford is doing their ordering system, and we've made lots of recommendations, and people that have listened to us have actually gotten their Broncos sooner rather than later. And so if you're watching this video, you need to listen to what I'm saying if time is of the essence. Now, some people say, hey, I don't care how long it takes, I have to have these options. But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person that says, I have to have this Maverick as soon as humanly possible. I'm going to tell you how to get it built. Let's first off talk about the trim level. The XL trim level is not the trim level you need to go for. Only 20% of all Mavericks will be built as a XL trim level. So stay away from that trim level. Next up, as far as niceties are concerned, is the XLT. This is the trim level you want, is an XLT, because 53% of all Mavericks will be built as an XLT. And that leaves us with the Lariat. 27% of the Mavericks out there are going to be built as a Lariat. So once again, if speed is of the concern, you need to, one, make sure you're picking a dealership that has a ton of allocation. You know, shameless plug, we are. But the other thing is you need to make sure you select these particular options. Start out with the XLT. The next thing that you would do, and I would argue this is the most important thing you can do, is select the right engine. As I've already mentioned, 2 engine choices. The 2.0 liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost. That's the motor you want to go with. 65% of all Mavericks in 24 are going to be built with that engine. Stay away from the hybrid if time is of the essence, because only 35% of all the Mavericks being built are going to be built with that 2.5 liter hybrid engine. So don't say I didn't warn you if you put in a hybrid and you end up waiting 13 months and then Ford still can't get to it. But either way, let's talk about some of these packages that are absolutely detrimental to your order. There are 3 different packages that you need to stay away from if you're interested in getting a Maverick in a timely fashion. The Tremor package, the FX4 package, and the black appearance package. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to relay the information that I've been able to dig up on the Maverick. They're saying that each one of those packages only has a 10% commodity availability on all of the Mavericks. So it's extremely important to stay away from those options if time is of the essence. How many times have I said time of the... Now let's talk about the 4K tow package. Now that is an awesome package because it allows you to tow, you guessed it, 4,000 pounds. But the only problem is only 20% of all Mavericks will be built with that option. So you're gonna wanna stay away from that. The last commodity constraint I wanna talk about is the 2K tow hitch. That has a 65% availability, and so there's not gonna be anything wrong with going with that particular package as far as towing is concerned. Now I do wanna take a step back and talk a little bit about the carryover orders. Those customers that had the 23, and I recommend that you also order the 24 if it's not been scheduled for production. On those customers, those orders are going to be scheduled and prioritized way ahead of all the new orders that are about to come into the system. And so you're really not necessarily on that same commodity constraint. You basically want to order it the same way that you've already got that order in the system. So just know that it's not as crucial to stay away from those certain options if you have a 23 model year converting it into a 2024. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, subscribe down below for more videos just like this one. Thanks and have a great day. Peace.